back with Riding the Bull right here on ET Now and holding up pretty okay after what looked like a fading away rally. We are making it back to that 78.50 mark. Of course, it has to be said that in the closing lap, perhaps we're going to give up all these gains as well. But yeah, making a fair attempt to actually stick by to that 78.50 zone. 53.59, a gain of about almost 1%. So clearly, it's small caps which are taking the leadership today. Gains for Kaveri Seeds, CEAT, McLeod Russell, Jubilant Foods, they are holding out. Pharma continues to languish. So let's chat a little bit more about that sector. Sarabjit Kaur Nangra, VP Research at Angel Broking, is on the phone, is on the show with us. Sarabjit, hi, good afternoon. Just want to talk a little bit more about this big FDA clampdown which is happening, and that's really impacting pharma companies. What is it that you're making of the state of FDA issues right now, and how long could it take for, you know, this sort of cloud to steer clear?
Though it's come in quite, I would say, one after another in the form of Dr. Reddy and Sun Pharma and Ipca earlier, but I don't think it's something new. It's the same thing. It started with Ranbaxy many years back, and that's already more than 10 years old story. So I guess it's nothing new in US FDA taking actions against Indian companies. Many Indian companies have come out of the same very quickly also, like Lupin, Cadila and many others. So it's nothing new, just that depending upon the severity of the issues involved, it takes at least 2 to 3 years for companies to come out of it once import alert is on. So I guess that much time companies would be taking. So I guess investors can't do much about such issues because these are something even companies can't forecast very clearly actually. So to that extent, the only saving grace for investor is the valuation at which they buy these stocks. And our only recommendation in when such events happen, stocks correct significantly, can add positions in those stocks because these are fundamentally large cap companies and doing well for themselves, and they will overcome such obstacles also.
Okay, so tell me what's looking interesting to you right now. What is your own pecking order of the top 3 stocks where news flow is not that bad and valuation is on our side?
As I pointed out right now, actually, even we would like to buy stocks where the news flow is very positive and valuations are also in our side. But unfortunately, in pharma, most of the stocks are very highly valued, or highly or rather fairly valued, I would put it that way. And only stocks where after the recent correction that's happened in Dr. Reddy, Sun Pharma, even Ipca have seen a lot of correction. So I think these 3 stocks, even though they straddle with negative news, but I think they have corrected more than 15%. I mean, Sun Pharma used to be at around 850, around has now come down to 740 odd level. So downside for these stocks from these levels is very low. So any long-term investor, and pharma is mind you, is a sector which is long-term, which can't be bought for 6 months or 1 year. It has to be bought with a perspective of 2 to 3 years. So to that extent, these 3 stocks, according to me, for a long-term investors, make good entry point actually.
Yeah, that it sure does. Okay, that's the word coming in on some of the top pharmaceutical gainers. Sarabjit, I don't know how closely you track Dishman Pharma, but news just out on this one that Clovis Oncology, the shares fell a good 70% in US yesterday, and that's a subsidiary of this. And apparently Dishman was to supply APIs to Clovis. We're seeing a huge drubbing on Dishman as well. Analyze this news bit for us. Is it just a sentimental rub-off, or how big this could have been for Dishman?
For the company concerned, definitely it was a big thing. But for Dishman, I think they had a pilot order coming in if the drug would have been approved to the extent of 2 to 3 million. So I don't think in money terms it would have been a very great impact on current number at least. Yeah, if it would have been approved, then probably it would have added slowly and steadily over the numbers. But I guess it's not that significantly impacted by the current news flow. Because that's such kind of drugs which are just yet to be approved and yet to be in the market normally don't get factored in so fast actually.
Okay, good to hear that. Sarabjit, good chatting with you as always too. Glad you could take time out. speak with us today. That's the perspective on pharmaceuticals. 78.42 for the Nifty right now. Small caps in leadership position. Wind it up on this edition of Riding the Bull. Up next, closing trades.